I started my journey in Trier and I had to change trains in Koblenz. And the views on this route are amazing. You go around the Mosque River, you get to see a lot of small villages, towns, settlements. If you like seeing green places, I would say this is one of the best routes. I would even recommend to do outdoor sports around this area. The only thing is that the trains are not so reliable after a certain time, so just be careful with that. But if you're driving, all is good. As you arrive in Cologne, you can already start to see some of the landmarks like the Hohenzollern Bridge, sorry for the bad pronunciation. This is where people put love locks on. It's on the Rhine River. You will also see the Cologne Cathedral. You will not miss it even if you're not interested in seeing it. It's just there. And it's humongous. This cathedral is the largest Gothic cathedral in Northern Europe and definitely one of Germany's most iconic landmarks. Between 1880 and 1884, it was the tallest building in the world. It took 600 years to build this cathedral. Its construction started in 1248 and wasn't fully finished till 1880. So a lot of people who worked on this cathedral never got to see its finished form. I have no idea on what was going on there, but I guess it's some kind of a bridal party. Anyway, one thing I always admire about these types of structures is that they stay standing for hundreds of years. And the architects then mainly used applied geometry to construct these structures. So I'm talking circles, squares, and triangles to lay out plans. Advanced maths like calculus wasn't even invented until 17th centuries. They only trusted themselves and God. And of course, feared the church. Oh yeah, the church. They had so much power back then, they used to fearmonger people into contributing in the construction of these kind of churches. They did things like use scary imagery to illustrate on what would happen to you if you sin and don't go to heaven. But they also provided a way for your sins to be forgiven. One way to pay for your sins was by working at the construction site of the cathedral. The other was that you buy certificates to have your sins forgiven. You could even buy these certificates in advance for the sins you were going to commit. And yes, people believed that. I mean, they wanted to go to heaven, so all means necessary, right? Now, thanks to the people who sacrificed a lot to have this cathedral constructed, now people like me can enjoy it and pray for my sins for free. So this cathedral survived extensive bombing during World War II. It was one of the only buildings left standing in Cologne. It actually played a big role in bombardments. The twin spires were used for navigation or used as reference points for Allied bombers. It endured 14 bomb hits and it was heavily damaged, but the structure remained standing. You can still attend Mass in this cathedral, and I have to say I'd love to listen to Mozart's Mass in C minor sung by a choir in here. Can you imagine the vocals, the godly illumination from the stained windows? That would be so heavenly. I just want to say, when you're visiting holy places like this, please show respect. I saw a lot of inappropriate behavior inside the church. It's a tourist attraction, but it's also a holy place for a lot of people. And people do go to pray, so please be mindful of that. That means how you're dressed, how you're behaving. In terms of behavior, if you're a tourist, just go in there, take your pictures and leave. There's no need to be doing anything extra. You can actually climb the south tower of the cathedral for a panoramic view of Cologne. It's a lot of steps, about 533, so make sure you're prepared before you decide to climb the tower. They have these lockers where you can store your luggage during your visit. Basically, you're not supposed to have big bags when entering the cathedral, so you would have to store your luggage somewhere. They also have this shop where you can buy souvenirs. You will see the cathedral stick out from most parts of the city. And a 30-minute walk away from the cathedral, you can also visit the Cologne Mosque. Or you can take the tram for about 12 minutes. Before I start with the mosque, please respect it as you would with the church. So please make sure you respect the rules in the mosque and don't go in there dressed inappropriately or go to the male area if you're female, and vice versa. There's also a shop where you can borrow clothes. That's if you look too haram. And one rule about the mosque is that you don't step on the carpet with shoes on. But they have these lockers for you to store your shoes. And you can pick them up once you're done. This is the Cologne Central Mosque. It's the biggest mosque in Germany. It has a capacity of 1,200 worshippers. It serves as the central mosque for Turkish Islamic Union for Religious Affairs, which is affiliated with the Turkish government. Its construction started in 2009 and the mosque was officially opened in 2017. It was designed by German architect Paul Bohm. Sorry for the bad pronunciation. It has classrooms, a library, shops, cafes, and more. So it also serves a role of cultural and community center, not just a place for worship. They have this center integrated into the mosque complex. I guess it's like a mall with restaurants, cafes, banks, bookshops. If you only eat halal food, in this place every restaurant is halal, so you wouldn't have to worry about what's on the menu. The district which the mosque is located in general also has halal restaurants, so you'd be fine in Cologne. Oh, and the district where the mosque and this mall is located in is called Ehrenfeld. Just so you're aware, most restaurants or cafes in Germany don't take cards, so make sure you have cash with you at all times.
Birinci kat değil mi? Birinci kata çıkacaksınız.
I checked out one of the bookstores, but most of the books were in Turkish, so I couldn't really get any. But they were also selling other things like perfumes. At this point, I was working for about 2 hours, so I decided to take a break in one of these restaurants. And I got a soft drink. This restaurant also doesn't take cards. The people in Cologne seems to be very, free? Yeah, free. Another interesting thing I saw was this mall called Globetrotter. After visiting this mall, I really understood that practicality is very important in German culture. I thought it's just a stereotype, but it's real. So the pool they have on the bottom is not just for aesthetics. You can try out the kayaks or canoes before you make a purchase. They have this rock climbing area as well, so you can test out the practicality of the gear. They have a hiking area as well, and I'm sure they have more to offer. These were just the more obvious ones to me since I don't really do outdoor sports. So yeah, this mall is very practice. If you're wondering why the name Cologne sounds so familiar, well, Cologne was invented in the city, and they have the museum for this. Basically, an Italian perfumer, Giovanni Maria Farina, was living in Cologne, Germany when he invented cologne. He invented it for the Royal European Courts. The museum still sells the original recipe of the cologne, and they provide guided tours. So you can book one if you're interested. I bought the original cologne and it smells amazing. There were other really interesting shops which I didn't get a chance to explore because I didn't have that much time, so there's more to see in the shopping district. If you like to cycle, Cologne has a lot of bike lanes and you can also rent scooters. You will find them throughout the city. This is a great way to explore. Trams or trains are also available and they are quite reliable. When traveling in Europe, I always prefer either taking public transport or walking. This way you get the locals experience. If the attractions are not that far apart, like a 20-minute walk, I prefer just to walk. And if it's more, then I prefer just to either take the train or tram or bus. Cologne has a good variety of restaurants. This city really blew my mind. Funny thing is that I was planning on visiting Stuttgart, but didn't have enough time to get to Stuttgart from where I was, which was Trier. So I thought I would settle for Cologne, not knowing that Cologne is also a very nice city. And I already mentioned how I really enjoyed the views on my way. Cologne has a lot of green spaces, which I really enjoyed. It's also a great place if you're traveling with kids. A lot of the attractions are not that far apart, so you can take breaks at the parks, which have the playgrounds for the kids. The residential areas are also green and some have benches, so if you're walking and pass through some of them, you can take a break. Eventually I had to take a tram, so this was tricky because I couldn't find any ticket machines. And when I asked somebody, they said the ticket machines is inside the tram and they don't have them at the station. I found the machine inside the tram. You get a few language options and you can buy day tickets for €9. I came across this international street food festival. I think this area is called New Market. That was the stop on the tram. I believe it only runs for a few days in a year. If anybody watching has more details on this, please let me know in the comments down below. Here you get a chance to try out food from a lot of countries. It's a shame I wasn't hungry at this point, so I really didn't feel like trying out anything. But most of the food looked great. The location of the festival is also very central, so it has a lot of shops and connections nearby. Cologne has a lot of events in general. They have music festivals, carnivals. Actually, they have one of the biggest carnivals in Europe. So I'll probably have to visit Cologne again in November to see the carnival. During Christmas time, they also have the Christmas markets. And during these periods, these cities are usually packed. So just make sure you book at a good time because the good hotels do get expensive and spaces do run out. Cologne also has a good nightlife. It has something for everyone. So if you like clubbing, they have Boots House, which is one of the top ranked clubs in the world. They play electronic and techno music. Cologne also has a lot of bars, breweries, lounges, live music, and more. So if you like drinking, you will have a good time in Cologne. Another thing I'd like to point out is that the location of Cologne is very good. You can easily get connections to the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. So if you're doing a Europe trip, consider the location and just see whichever cities you can add to your trip. As for how many days you should spend in Cologne, it's big, so I recommend 2 days minimum. Just with 1 day, you can miss out on a lot of things. Ideally, I would say 3 days, but I managed to see most of the things I wanted in a day and just a few more in the next day. When it comes to language, a lot of people in the service industry can speak English, so you will not have any issues trying to do basic tourist things like order food, get on tours, and more. I came across this. I think they were filming for a TV show or commercial, or could be a movie. For lunch, I decided to get some brunch, and with Google reviews, I ended up at the St. Louis Breakfast Cafe. It's meant to be one of the best in Cologne. I ordered some shakshuka with mushrooms, but you also get other options like shakshuka with sausages, cheese, and more. Overall, I think it was okay, but it could have been better. Eventually, I moved on to the Botanical Garden. This garden is called Flora and Botanischer Garten. Here you can find wildlife, flowers, and exotic plants. It was founded in 1863 after the old botanical garden was lost to railway expansion. So this garden has over 10,000 species of plants from around the world. I was too late to see the tropical houses and the rainforest greenhouses. So make sure you visit when all of these are opened. Otherwise, you will miss most of the garden. The garden is free of entry and it's located near the zoo in Cologne, so you can add the zoo as well if you plan to visit the garden. I was too late for the zoo as well, so it was closed by the time I got there. This garden is part of Cologne's Green Belt land and it's used for plant research and education as well. You can also have your wedding pictures taken here. So, the garden opens till late, but the greenhouses and tropical houses opening times depend on the seasons. But if anybody watching has more details on this, please let me know in the comments down below. Give yourself a lot of time to enjoy the garden. It has a lot of plants, birds, and I even saw some parrots. And this was me rushing through it as well. Spring or summer is the best time to visit. Most of the flowers are in bloom and you can hear the birds sing. This garden is only a few minutes away tram ride from Cologne's central station. If you love nature, this is a great place for you. The garden also has a cafe, but again, I was too late to see what was on the menu. So if you do visit and do have time, just note that this is also available for you. Anyway, I had to make my way back, and to get to the tram from the garden, you will pass through the zoo I was talking about. And I have to say, Cologne is a very busy city. So many people were in a rush just to get to their destinations. And the German long-distance trains are rubbish. I was delayed for 3 hours. 3 hours. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.